everyone, I hope this video finds you happy, healthy, and safe. If you're new here, my name is Rhonda with Rhonda's Craft Frenzy. If you find some content that you like, maybe you'll consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. If you're not new, thank you so much for stopping back. Today I'm going to show you how I put together these 3 super cute, super easy home decor for your laundry room. Why not? I had a great time doing it. I think that you will too. It'll give you lots of inspiration. So let's get right to it. I'll beat you to the craft table. For DIY number 1, I start with a square sign from the Dollar Tree. I paint the back side with white chalk paint, and I covered that front part with craft paper just because I didn't want to deal with all that glitter. Next, I picked up these wall decals from the Dollar Tree to make a cute sign. I just pulled them off and I stuck them to the white paint after it was dried, trying as best I could to keep it centered. Then I used elephant chalk paint by Waverly to distress it because of course I thought it was lacking something. I just lightly brushed on the paint in thin lines until I was happy with the way it looked. I did this all over. I even went over the top of those decals. Then I took a wider brush and I used that just for the ends and the corners. I do not show it here, but after that was dry, I put a nice coat of Mod Podge over and let it dry. So I wanted to frame the top and the bottom. So for this part I used those Jenga blocks that come from the Dollar Tree. I used Elmer's wood glue to glue them all together in lines of 8. I put 8 on the top and 8 for the bottom. Then I went over them with antique wax and let them dry completely. Once that was dry, I used large craft sticks from the Dollar Tree to hold them into place. I used hot glue on the back just to keep it neat looking. I hot glued a piece of jute string for a hanger, and that was it. I hope it inspires you to get your glue gun out. Hey, let me know if you think I should have put some greenery on it. I was thinking about it and I wasn't sure. I could go either way on this one. So for my second one, I start out with this cute picture frame. I opened it up, I took out the back, and then I pulled that flower off, and I had to sand it smooth. But I also went across the whole image just to dull it a little bit to help my paint process. So the next part was the painting, and I used my white chalk paint for that from Rust-Oleum. It took 2 coats with drying in between each one of those coats. I think I got these letters from the Family Dollar, and I used them to spell out "drop your drawers here" because I thought that was super cute. And I gotta tell you, those things were so sticky, it was hard getting them off that sheet. Then I used a stencil for an arrow. Please draw one if you want. I use this because I don't have a steady hand, so I use a cheater's way. I use black Waverly chalk paint to do this. After that paint was dry, I wanted it to look shiplapped, so I used a ruler starting in the middle, and I drew lines with a black Sharpie. Then I distressed it with Waverly's chalk paint in elephant color. I let it dry, and then I went over the whole thing with a pretty thick coat of Mod Podge. And after that was dry, I added a bow and some greenery, and this one was done. I like it a lot, and I hope you do too. For my last and easiest of the day was this cute fold and dry sign. I loved it, but I wasn't really happy with that black. So I used that same white chalk paint from Rust-Oleum just to cover over the black part of the sign. I was doing my best not to get that paint on the wording, and this took 2 coats. And again, I wanted that shiplap look, so I used that same technique to get me the lines on the outside of that wording, not to go over the middle of the sign. And the last thing I did was sand out those lines just to make it a little bit rustic and a little older. I added some greenery and a bow, and that finished my last one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you spending your time here with me today. I hope you found some inspiration in my video. Please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you saw something you like, hit that thumbs up button. Don't be shy with those comments. I hope to see you next time, and until then, keep those glue guns at the ready.